You're all crazy.
Hey? All right. I'm already out of breath. Nobody's watching. Oh boy. Oh, we're up to 2. Okay. Whew. I was a little bit late. But better late than never, I guess. See if my chat's working here. It says unable to try or connect to chat. If you guys don't mind just throwing something in chat there, make sure that's all working, and just let me know that you guys can hear me. Are you going on that? Can you guys hear me? I'm just trying to. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
They're texting here. It's coming up.
I'm just trying to. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
They're texting here. It's coming up.
Okay, turn yours down. All right, sorry guys, we're just having a little technical difficulties. I'm gonna have to open up. Don't worry, I'm not gonna close this screen or anything. I just got to figure some stuff out. Just give me a minute here. Yeah, we're running a little late there tonight. Oh, big cough.
What?
All right, now I can. All right, Charles says, how's it going? Sound is good. All right, perfect. Thank you. So tonight we're just doing a little trapping talk. Sorry, the quality on my screen isn't very good, is it? I think maybe the one in the living room. Try that one. Okay, yeah, that's better. All right. So first thing that I kind of want to get talking about, I don't know if you guys, hopefully you guys have been watching my videos. I did a video there about Mound Sets. What was it called? Do you remember?
How to set haymounts.
How to set Mound Sets. Anyway, it was the second last video, I believe. Anyway, in that video, I think it was around set number 7 or so. I ended up videoing some tracks because what it is there's 2 big meadows, and then in between, or I guess it'd be one big meadow, but it's split by a little swath of cedars that is maybe, I don't know if it'd be even 20 yards wide. But anyway, the coyotes in that run the cedars, I guess, is cover or whatever. But in there was a set of tracks, and I'm not sure exactly what they are. From what I'm being told, it looks like fisher tracks. And like I said in the video, we don't really have fisher in this area that I was aware of. I've been maybe a little bit more aware of it now. There was a local guy that said that he's seen them by the golf course, and I believe him. And I just didn't realize that there was fisher in our area. As far as I knew, fisher were like, I don't know, 3-4 hours north of us. But anyway, apparently they're here. So and everybody's kind of telling me that it's Fisher Tracks. So that's what we're going to go with. So we ended up getting about 4 or 5 inches of snow again, and it looked like maybe the same thing came through on the same, more or less on the same path. But it was kind of hard to tell because of the fresh snow, and it was, a little bit deep. Yeah, so anyway, if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you guys go back and check that out, and let me know what you guys think, because yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we're gonna go with. So yeah. Anybody here? There was a statement that came out today regarding the ban on selling and buying wild fur in Toronto, which is the biggest city in Canada. I guess I don't know. There was a write-up. There's a news paper that did a write-up on it, and they're looking at the same thing as California. If you don't know what happened in California, fairly recently, California did a big ban on the selling and buying of wild fur. And then I guess the one state over next to them is looking at doing the same thing. And now in one of the Toronto newspapers, there was a big write-up, and there's like an internet online poll as to whether or not people think that it should be illegal or if it's a bunch of baloney. But anyway, so obviously I went on there and I checked no, because I don't think that it should be illegal. But anyway, so we'll see where that goes. Obviously, as a trapper, I'm hoping that it doesn't go anywhere. But anyway, let me know if you guys have seen any of those articles. But yeah, so those are kind of circulating around, but not much you can do. I really wish that chat was working on this page. Anyway, I digest.
What?
Does anybody use Conibears, body grips, whatever you want to call them, for fox? I know some of the guys way up north have used them. I've seen videos of guys using them for fox, Arctic fox and that. But there's not a whole lot online regarding Conibears and fox trapping. So anyway, that's one of the things that I wanted to chat about tonight. I did a set there, a while ago. But I'm just wondering, I had to contact the M&R about another issue there today regarding something else. Not a bad issue, but just a question that I had. And actually, it was about, I'll tell you, it was about buying fur. I'm interested in buying coyotes that, say if a local guy goes out and shoots a coyote, what you need to be able to do, or what you have to do to be able to purchase that carcass legally. You know what I mean? I think there's a license that you have to have in order to buy something like that. So anyway, I contacted them about that. How's it going, Chip? Good to have you here. But yeah, so I contacted her about that. But one of the other questions that I'd sent out to her was what's the laws regarding Conibears and fox trapping? Because where I am, fox season is open year round. It used to shut down in February, but then I think it was a year or two ago that they opened it up to year round. So kind of the issue or the idea that I'm having here is there's nothing in my area that is open. Like Raccoon closes the end of February. So there's nothing that you can really have. There's no reason to really have Conibear set on land for anything. So I'm just wondering if I could set for fox with a Conibear, but I'm not sure exactly. See, foxes, the way I was told was because foxes are a ranched fur, they can be a ranched fur, that the what's the word I'm looking for? The rules, regulations on trapping foxes don't really exist because of the farm fur industry. So anyway, because there's not an AITS, AIT, you guys know what I'm talking about, the 8 certified traps, there's a list for like every, species out there, pretty much. But it does not show anything for fox. So I'm just wondering if you could still have, say, a 330 bucket set, if you will, for fox on land, and if that would be okay, or if that's not acceptable. But anyway, that's one of the things I'm looking at. Also, I was curious as to if you're allowed to set Conibears for fox. If anybody knows, let me know. The chat is pretty dead tonight, so you guys could start firing out some questions on that. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I already covered that. Yeah, I just what's his name? Northern Trapper on YouTube. I'm sure if you guys watch me, I'm sure you guys watch him because he's better than I am. But anyway, in one of his videos, he was talking about how he purchases coyotes from local guys that hunt coyotes. You know what I mean? So they don't really have any use for the hides. So he buys the whole carcass from them and then skins them. So that's kind of what I was wondering. I mean, I'm not even sure that there's a whole lot of guys locally around here that would be coyote hunting. And but if there was, and if they were decent coyotes, if they, just to be legal, what it would take to be able to buy them. The other question that I had for her, these are all questions that I had for her, and she couldn't answer me right away. So that was just this afternoon. So she's going to get back to me, she said, on that. And she's actually really good. I've dealt with Michelle ever since I started trapping. For a while there, for a few years, I think she was on mat leave or something, and I ended up getting put on with Jacques. Anyway, another M&R officer guy. But I much prefer dealing with Michelle. But she's always been really good to deal with. But anyway, one of the other questions was carrying a pistol, handgun, on while you're trapping. So some of the issues that I have are, I already have my restricted firearms license, which means I can legally possess a handgun. But with a restricted firearms license, even though you're allowed to possess a handgun, you still have to, you can only fire it at a shooting range, which I have zero interest in taking a handgun to a shooting range. So legally, where I am, you can't just go into your backyard and, plunk targets or whatever with a handgun. Because if you get called in, for shooting or whatever, and M&R shows up or OPP, they're going to be like, well, what were you shooting with? Anyway, not good. So, in fact, I've never bought a handgun. I don't have a handgun. I just got my restricted because I was interested in being able to carry one on the trap line. But then I found out after I got my restricted that there was this wilderness course that you had to take. It was like a 3-day course that you had to take in order to be able to carry a handgun on your trap line. And even at that, it still had to go through the government. And it was like a 50-50 as to whether or not they would okay you, whether or not you could still carry it on you. So I wasn't interested in going through all that crap. So anyway, one of the questions that I gave to her today was, a little while back, I had gotten an email from our local trapping association that there was some rules that had changed on regarding the carrying of a handgun on your trap line. It sounded like they had almost gotten rid of that wild or wilderness course, and it sounded like as long as you had your restricted and that you were on a trap line, you were fine to carry a handgun. So, but I just kind of need to check into that a little bit more. And if that is the case, then all I need really to do is buy a handgun, which would be pretty handy, having, you know, just a little whatever, little 22 revolver or whatever in my pocket, instead of having to carry, you know, a 22 long gun. But anyway, so you guys can let me know. Obviously, it's going to vary for different places, but yeah, for where I am, there's quite a bit of rules and regulations. So what's going on with everybody tonight? You guys are pretty quiet in the chat. But yeah. Sorry, I thought I was going to be able to take a little bit more time tonight to prepare for this, but I was sending a big email to a big company, and then Jess came in to tell me that our daughter's goat died, and yeah, so all that was pretty traumatic. It was just not a great evening, but anyway, joys of owning livestock, I guess, eh? Things die. And of course, it's got to be.
On the plus side, you've got bait now.
Yeah, on the plus side, I've got more bait for coyotes. Yeah, that's true, but pretty expensive bait. And of all the goats that died, it had to be one of the pets. But not much you can do now. Just tried to save it, but yeah. Is the chat working, guys? Let me know. Like nobody's chatting. Oh well. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah. Is the chat, guys? Let me know. Like nobody's chatting. Oh well. Turn that down. They can hear that. Woman. If anybody on here had seen our live farm chat on, what was that, Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night. Sunday night we did a little live chat there, farm related. Did pretty good, not bad for the first farm chat.
We had people talking.
Yeah, we had a lot of people chatting. Unlike tonight, it's dead. I'm not even sure anybody's out there. If it wasn't for this little thing with the two heads and on number 6 beside it, I think I'm just sitting there talking to myself. But anyway, is Wyatt out there? Wyatt, you out there? Kirk, hello? Oh my goodness. Chip said hello, Chip said hello like 20 minutes ago, and then that was it. He went silent. Charles said, hey, how's it going? Oh, there's Chip. Back at it. It's true. Goat will eat Christmas tree browse. Speaking of Christmas tree browse, well, he said browse, so I didn't want to correct him. I'm not much for spelling myself. But I brought them a big old Christmas tree out of the bush there today. I had to go and check up the main line. And Jess, when I left, she's like, you got to bring back some branches. So there was a big blowdown, brought the whole tree. She's like a 12-foot tree, freaking 18 inches in diameter.
It was like 2.5.
2.5 inches diameter.
Typical male, though, right there.
No, it was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
3 inches diameter, and it was, I don't know, 8 feet long. But anyway. But yes, anyway, I brought that back for the goats because they do love that kind of stuff. And actually, apparently, it's a natural dewormer, is what I'm telling. My spelling's bad. Chip, I'm right there with you too, bud. That's why I'm on here live chatting. I can't sit there and chat because, well, I'm a slow typer and my chattings are my
Slow in more ways.
yeah, I'm slow. Anyway, our farm chat went really good Sunday night. We didn't get a ton of views, but I think at any given time there was between 6 and 8 people, on board, and the chat down the side there was going nuts. So yeah, we had a good chat. There was quite a few people. Like I said, for the first one, I think we did not bad. We'll probably do something like that, just I don't know, once a week, maybe every Sunday night. The trapping talk, I feel like we should probably do that every couple nights, unless you guys are like tonight and don't want to talk, other than Chip. Maybe me and Chip will just start our own little side combo and leave everybody else out. No, come on, don't be like that. See? Oh, Barry came aboard. Good man. Oh, I was glad. I was hoping that you'd stop by, Barry. It's been a while since I've seen one of your videos come up. Well, Barry, I actually have a video coming out tomorrow morning that you might be interested in watching. I did go around and pre-hook a couple of them because I had to spend a day there digging them all out because we ended up getting a bunch of blowing snow. And so I had to dig through a bunch of drifts and get them dug out. But I did pick up a coyote in one. And anyway, I'm not going to ruin the video, but we got him. But he did go quite a ways. What's that? Who did?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, no, I didn't ruin the video. Okay, going down my list here. The weather. You're not Canadian unless you talk about the weather, right? So, you guys already know about the little mini winter storm we had there. We've had such a nice winter so far. It's been unbelievable. Guys out on the East Coast there, I don't know. I think some of them are still buried under snow.
That's why you have nobody else.
Yeah, maybe that's why not many people are on tonight, just because they're all underneath snowdrifts. Anyway, the East Coast got hammered. I forget which province, PEI or Nova Scotia, one of them. I don't know. They got like 80 centimeters of snow or something overnight. So, as far as I know, they're still digging out. I seen something online there today that the first grocery store opened and since the storm hit, and that was a few days ago. So, poor guys are getting all skinny and malnourished out there. But okay, now we're starting to chat here. Let me. Oh no, that's still the same ones. Got me all excited. I got to go back and forth between two screens here to read the chats because I don't know what the heck happened to my main chat here. But yeah. So last. Okay. Wow. Is that near you, Barry? Because I'm pretty sure you're out east there somewhere. What'd you say? 4 feet?
Yeah, he's Newfoundland. He's at Nova Scotia.
So where you are, did you get 4 feet of snow? That's unbelievable. I'm surprised you got internet connection. That's crazy. Last I had heard that they were still under a state of emergency. Wow. That's crazy. I thought we got a lot of snow last year. But I mean, we got like 12 feet of snow, but it was. Oh, Nova Scotia. I knew you're out there somewhere. Yeah, we got like 12 feet of snow last year, but that was over the course of the winter or whatever. So,
That was where you blew it all into a pile.
wow. Not really. She's lying. Anyway, check the forecast. Like every day for the next week is either 0 or above, except for one day, it's -1. And like nighttime temperatures are like -3 and -4. So it's pretty crazy. And not a ton of snow. It doesn't sound like we're supposed to get much snow. So I don't know. What a weird winter. Nice though. I'm quite enjoying it. So I went out yesterday and like I was saying earlier, went out yesterday, dug out all my hay mound sets, was able to connect on one of them, got a nice coyote. I cleaned out 9 of the sets, 9 out of the 12 sets I cleaned out, got them all, working again, everything tickety-boo. I didn't re-lure or anything like that, just because, I just made the sets within a week prior to. And so, I mean, the scent was still there. They were just buried in snow. So I just dug them out and made sure everything was working. But I had 3 over on the north end of our property, separate from the other 9. And I got lazy, I'm not going to lie, and came home and I was like, I'm just going to leave those 3. I'm not going to worry about digging them out. And so I come in the house and my dear wife says, "Did you get them all cleaned out?" And I said, "Well, I got the south end done. I got 9 of the ones down there all cleaned out. They're all ready to go. But I didn't do the ones on the north end. I didn't do those." And she's like, "Well, why not?" She's like, "Get back out there and, get those cleaned out. You should have those cleaned out." And I was like, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. So I go out today, and sure enough, there was a fox that tore one of the 3 sets apart. The trap was already set off. I'm pretty sure it was already set off. I don't think the fox set it off. Anyway, he took the hay and spread it in like a 10-foot circle. And no, he wasn't caught because they're on a drag and the trap was still in the trap bed. It wasn't that he got caught. He just tore the snot out of it, getting to the bait and everything else. And I'd been by there the day before, the day that I cleaned the other ones out. I drove by it. I just didn't, like I said, I was too lazy. I didn't get off the machine and clean it out and make sure it was working. And it was totally covered in snow. And I figured even if the trap hasn't sprung, because I set my coil springs really weak, like the pan tension on them is very sensitive. They're night latched, but I don't know if it would even be 2 pounds probably to set them off. And the reason for that is because for fox. But anyway, so I have them set very soft, and any amount of snow really that gets on top of there, it usually will spring them off. So I'm pretty sure that it was probably already sprung when the fox got there. But anyway, he had her just packed down. There was tracks all over. Dad was with me, and he was like, "Wow." He's like, "Man, did they ever work that set?" No, they sure did. Had that trap been working, I can almost guarantee you that I would have had a fox. But it doesn't pay to be lazy, I tell you. Anyway. Yes, I realized, Chip, that you can set coil springs for them. And in my area, I can set snares for them. But I'm just curious as to whether or not I could have a Conibear designated to catch fox. So if I were to make like a natural cubby set, you know, and put like a 330 in the front of that, could I have that set for fox? Because if something else gets caught in it, say a raccoon, in March, once season is closed, would I get in trouble that I had a 330 set on land when nothing else is open? So that's kind of my question is yeah, can I legally have a Conibear set for fox? Hello, John. How's it going? John's been a busy guy. I hear you. Well, that's all right. We'll take you for however long you can stay. So one of the other hay mound sets after I caught that coyote, I continued on down the line, and in fact, it was the next hay mound set, which would be, well, probably around 200 yards or so from the one that I caught the coyote in. I got there, and I was obviously still digging them out at that time. Stopped, and the coyotes had just same thing as the fox. They didn't tear the hay apart. They did go in and take the bait out, but they had just matted it down all around that whole set. You'll see in the video there tomorrow. It's the set is backed by this big cedar, and they just did like a 6-foot loop all the way around, and it's just there's hundreds of tracks. I mean, it's probably only one or two coyotes, but they just had it wore right down in a circle around it. And again, the trap was set off, but I think it was set off prior to them getting there. I didn't see any spots where it looked like they had taken off, because they were scared, which usually that's what happens once they, accidentally set the trap off without getting caught. They take off, and you'll usually see them running, but there was no sign of that. Wyatt, my man, thank you for stopping by. I was talking about you earlier. It was pretty slow in here, and I said, Wyatt, are you out there? And there was no answer. I figured you either fell asleep, but you're on board there now. Good man. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Yeah, in the real north. Yes, that's right. Well, things are just booming up here. Well, the main thing is you got her done, eh? Hopefully you got all the furniture taken in and everything's good. Oh, don't apologize. No need to apologize. Yeah. Yeah, it was wet. It was wet all over this year. This fall anyway. Yeah, like I said before, regarding the hay mound sets, you can't beat them. They where I live anyway, like the fluctuation in temperatures, the snowing, the blowing, everything, to just go and put in your standard dirt hole set is pretty much pointless as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, the hay mound set kind of keeps on working, short of, like I said, getting a bunch of blowing snow and drifting. So the only reason I think I caught that coyote in that one after that storm was it was a little ways up in the bush, and so that it was a lot more protected from the blowing snow than all the other ones. It would definitely work with chopped up corn stalks, John. The biggest thing is it doesn't really matter what you use for your backing, your horseshoe pattern. In my case, I use hay, and hence the hay mound set. I didn't design it by any means, but you could literally use anything for that backing, right? Anything. But the biggest thing is where you put your trap bed, and then what you cover your trap with are the two major things. So you want something underneath that trap, and in my case, hay, just to give it that nice bed, and it also keeps the trap from freezing down to the ground. And then if something steps on it, you know what I mean, it has a hard time springing up. I'm running number 3 Victor Soft Catch 4 coil. So obviously I know that's overkill for coyote, or for fox, sorry. But for coyote, you know, it's great. And that 4 coil really helps to get it up through the hay and through the snow or anything like that. They're a lot stronger, a lot quicker trap than just your standard 2 coil. So anyway, you put your hay down, then you put your trap, and then what I do is kind of take, you know, a flake of hay, and I'll just get a little bit of the chaff out of it. You know, if you're to take it, maybe you get, you know, a little handful like that covering the trap. You don't want it very thick, just to cover the trap. And then if it snows in that, it's not a big deal, because that trap is kind of encased in a blanket, in a sleeping bag in there, if you will. And it's totally functional. It's not froze up. And if something steps there, you know, you're still gonna have that trap working. All right, John, or sorry, not John, Chip. We will see you later, Chip. That is early, my friend. That is very early to start trapping. You're a better man than most. Anyway, so hopefully that gives you an idea there, John, as to whether or not the corn stalks would work. I definitely think that you would work probably even better than hay for your backing, your horseshoe part. But I don't know, unless you could get some of the leaves off of the corn stalks, you know, for your bedding and your cover. I'm not sure exactly what you'd have to do there. But anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea. No, I'm just going to use your computer as for the chat, I guess. Yeah, Wyatt, I've tried. I'm not going to say I've tried everything, but I've tried pretty much most things. I've never tried wax dirt, but I have tried salt, and it doesn't seem to matter what I do. You know, you get a day that's -10 and sunny, and that sun beats down and it crustifies the snow, and then you get like a -30 night, and then everything's so froze up, your trap's froze up. I've gotten there, and you know, you're banging on it with a stick and the thing's not even snapping off. So it's just, I've had a lot of issues over the years trying to run footholds, and that's why I usually don't run a whole lot of them. But the hay mound sets do work. But yeah, to try and, like I said, to try and do your standard dirt hole set around here, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I think the leaves would probably work for pan covers, you know, especially if you already got that corn stalk, the corn stubble stalk as your horseshoe, you know, and then that blended in corn leaf or whatever. I think that would probably work all right. Yeah, it's so Chip, I know exactly what you're saying there. With I've even heard of guys getting the little baggies from grocery stores, putting your trap right in the bag, and then it's totally encased, which is great. I definitely think that keeps your trap from physically freezing up. But then what do you put on top of it? So even if you're to use the wax paper, wrap your trap in it, what do you put over top of that? Do you just put snow or just what? Because I still feel like by putting that snow as your pan cover, the possibility of it getting that crust overnight is still pretty high. But I don't know. I've just never had good luck with any of that kind of stuff working. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do your standard dirt hole set, in November, and it all depends on the weather, but maybe even into December a bit. But once you start getting the huge temperature fluctuations and the chance of 6 inches of snow or whatever, it's hard to have your standard dirt hole set with your 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch dirt or whatever on top of the pan, and then you get 4 or 5 inches of snow over that. Definitely for fox, they're going to be standing way up there. I don't even know that they're going to set that trap off, let alone get caught. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, well, hopefully it works, John. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't that it's not going to possibly work. It just my previous experience with running footholds in the winter has just been a lot of frustration, and until the hay mound sets until I started using them, it just was more frustration than it was worth. I was pulling up and having to chip out my sets every other day, and it just got very frustrating. So yeah, but hopefully you got a big old coyote waiting for you in the morning. So you're a bridger guy, are you? You're not one of these MB 550 guys. Yeah, that's another thing that I've often wondered too with the wax paper. If I always, when I did use wax paper, I would cut my square out big enough to cover the trap, and then I would just take it in between my gloves, and I would just really work it, crumple it right up, and then it becomes a lot more soft. And then I would set it down to try and get rid of that crunchiness sound to it. But I'm just bugging. I'm not. There's just a lot of stuff online there talking about the MB 550s, and if you're not running MB 550s, you're running junk, and I just bugging. I just bugging. Well, you know what, NST Trapper, I will say this: if there is one guy to talk to or watch videos on about trapping coyotes with footholds, go and watch NST Trapper. That guy does an awesome job. Awesome job. That's all I'm going to say about that. Well, Wyatt, money. No, I don't know. I don't know. I just, what all I did for myself was I looked at the 8 certified list for coyotes, and I just kind of skimmed through as to what was legal to run for footholds, and I decided I'd pick out the Victor soft catch number 3. And the reason I went for 4 coil was because we do have the odd wolf come through, and I figured with the 4 coil, we would have a better chance of holding that wolf than if with just the standard 2 coil. And I also, when I was picking out a foothold, I was also looking at what we don't have a bobcat season in our area, but I'm hoping that eventually there will be. So I was also looking at what is certified for bobcat further down the line, so that if a season does open up, I already have the sorry, not NST Trapper. Oh my goodness. S Trapper Hunter. Yes. Sorry. My apologies, Barry. But yeah. Anyway, that was the reason why I started running those. Well, that's all I had down for my list of stuff to more or less chat about. Our wood stove is just pumping out the heat tonight. Like I said, it's warm outside, but anybody burning wood, you know that inside your house can get pretty hot. Number 2s. The ones that I bought, they come for 4 coil. I didn't have to modify them at all. They come with the soft, the rubber jaw. It's not a rubber jaw; it's a cast jaw with a rubber insert, if you will. They're actually, I think, replaceable. But and then it comes with the 4 coil, and it comes with a bottom mount center swivel. It's not the D ring style. It's just got the center J hook. That's your center swivel. And on all mine, I ended up going through and welding all the J hooks shut. And the reason for that is, like I said, we do have the odd wolf come through, and I really didn't want to lose any traps. So, and I've heard and seen bad things of people having J hooks open up, and so I've got a little welder, so I went through and I welded that one shut right at the trap. It still swivels and everything, but the J hook itself is welded shut. And then where I added on my chunk of chain to my drag, everything's welded. I can't even take my traps off of my drag, and that everything is solid. So I don't have any worry about losing it, or I shouldn't say losing it, but anything coming apart. The only thing that I do kind of wish I wish I had a little bit bigger drags, but I made my own, and that's what I had. The material was what I had, so not a big deal. Yeah, I believe you can buy the Victor's 2 coil and 4 coil also. I think most coil traps you can buy 4 or 2. Well, it all depends on where where you are, and forgive me if you've told me whereabouts you live. I don't have the greatest memory when it comes to remembering all that stuff. But for me here in Ontario, I've kind of said this in the past, but I order all my supplies through Fur Harvesters Auction House. They have a trap store right in the auction house. And as long as you are a first shipper to them, they give you a 10% discount in the trap store. And if you ship furs to them on one of their fur routes, you can always have your furs shipped to you on the fur pickup truck. So then it saves you the shipping cost. So not only do you get the 10% discount in the store, but then you more or less get your free shipping. So yeah, it works out great for me. But again, it all depends on where you are, Central Ontario. Yeah, so to be honest, I would say for you, Central Ontario, I'd be getting my stuff through Fur Harvesters, but that's just me. I have, I mean, you can find it online, but I have all the contact info if you so choose. Ken is the guy that I deal with in the store out of New Brunswick. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I used to buy all my stuff out of, where is it? Manitoba.
Halfords.
Yeah. Halfords was the company that I used to always buy all my stuff from. And I think they're based out of Manitoba. Anyway, one of those provinces out west. And their products were great. Their shipping was retarded expensive. And in the end, I had a couple questions, and I went and I called their phone number, and I was talking to the one lady behind whatever. She was one of the main ladies, and man, she did not have a very good attitude on her. So it was right around the same time that I realized that FHA in North Bay had a store. And so anyway, it didn't take me long to decide to ixnay on Halfords and go to FHA, which their baseline prices are exact. They're exactly the same. And then because I ship my fur to Fur Harvesters, then I get that 10% discount. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. And the free shipping, yes, sorry. So it was a no-brainer for me. The trading post in the Sioux, I don't know. It's been, I don't know. I bet you it's been almost 10 years since I've been in that place. So I have no idea if they even sell trapping stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Wyatt, if you want, you can go on to FHA's website, and one of the little boxes over in the top right-hand corner is Trap Store. You can click on that, and they give you a whole, I think it's a PDF file. Anyway, it comes up on your screen, and you can scroll through their whole catalog right online. So, yeah, so you're not far from there. So, once you start shipping furs there, then you'd cut the cost in that, but I mean, shipping probably isn't going to be a whole heck of a lot for you if you're not far from them. So, but yeah, that's another thing in dealing with FHA. I've gotten to know Ken. In fact, I have him as a friend on Facebook, and so we chat quite often. And I've gotten to know him quite well, and so just give him a call, and he's a really good guy to deal with. But anyway. Yeah, so that coyote I caught yesterday, you guys will see it in the video there. It's coming up tomorrow morning, but it's a really nice male. It's a fairly small one, but it's a beautiful one. One of the better ones this year. I would say top 3 for sure. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Definitely a nice looking dog. No, Wyatt. You don't have to have a trapping license in order to buy trapping supplies. Sorry, I'm just reading through the comments here. Okay. So Barry, are you talking about for harvesters, like the pickup truck that comes around your way? You're saying that he has lots of supplies on board with him? Ours doesn't, but I think that's partly because we're close to North Bay. So I don't think that they have anything much on the truck when they come by us. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been north of the Sioux. Like I said, it's been probably 10 years since I've even been to the North trading post. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably because you're further away from North Bay, then maybe they decide they're going to throw some stock on the truck just for in case when they get out, like your way and that especially, they can sell some stuff. What's your main target's going to be, Wyatt? I think you told me in the past, but I'm not exactly sure. I think it was raccoons and was it muskrat? I can't remember now. How many coyotes did you end up shipping out there, Barry? Were they pretty nice cats that you got this year? Odd Beaver and Fisher. Okay. Yeah, well, when it comes to beavers for me, you can't beat the Castor Mound set, that's for sure. Some guys put a foothold with the drowning set. I myself am very partial to putting a 330 in front of the Castor Mound, but man, you get Castor from another beaver out of another pond and make your own lure, which all I do for that is just take the casters out. And I ended up going to the local garbage dump share shed thing and found like a little food vegetable chopper thing, electric. Anyway, you dry your casters, put your casters in there and you chop it all up. You mince it right up into almost like a powder. And you make your own caster scent right just like that. I just use pure caster. I know some guys will cut it with like a vegetable oil or whatever. But for me, I don't mess around. Like I said, I do nuisance beaver trapping, and I get paid a lot of money for a beaver, so I don't mess around when it comes to beaver lure. So it's just pure caster, and then kind of just put your foot in the water and make what it looks like a slide, and maybe a clump of mud up on the bank. Get yourself a little chunk of caster up on there, and block her off with a 330, and you're good to go. When I first started out, I would bust a hole in the dam and I would fence it all off and put a 330 and do dive sets and all this fancy stuff. And then I kind of stumbled upon the caster Mound Set, and they take like 2 minutes to make a set, no work, very quick, in and out, and very, very effective, very effective. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I'm gonna start wrapping her up here. I'm not sure when, like I said, we'll probably be doing our we'll try and do our farm chats maybe Sunday nights, and maybe we'll try and do the trapping talk related stuff, once or twice. Definitely once a week for sure. And if it works out, we'll try and do it twice a week. But so far right now, Tuesday nights for sure look like they're going to be working out. So we'll definitely be doing Tuesday nights, I think. So, all right, Barry, we'll see you later, and thanks for stopping by. Glad having you here. Anyway, so definitely catch us Tuesday nights, and if you guys are interested in hanging out and stopping by for the farm chats, we'll probably be doing those Sunday night. And until next time, guys, thanks for stopping by, and ciao. We will see you later.